Hey, listeners, and welcome back to the Review for Few podcast. And I know you're probably thinking, wait a darn tootin' minute. This girl didn't release an episode on Thursday. I didn't. I decided this week in honor of my birthday. I was going to drop it on Friday because my birthday is Friday, March 1st. I'm 23 years young and I'm just like so blessed and so thankful to, have just made it a full year around the sun and to all the people that I still choose to talk to and have in my life. Thank you. Hi. I'm just like really happy. I feel like, I don't know, something about 23. I'm not scared to turn 23. Technically recording this, I'm not 23 yet. I'm not scared to turn 23, but 23 just sounds like a grown woman's age. Like you're grown, like you're growing up. I feel like those like first couple of years of your 20s, or just your adulthood in general, not even just your 20s. You're just like lollygagging. Like what 18-year-old is really out here doing like business unless you like already was like bred into a family like that. And 19, you don't really care. 20, you're like leaving like your teenagehood behind and you're like stepping into the decade where you're supposed to have the funnest time of your life and just let loose. And then 21, you could legally, doesn't matter if you were doing it before, now you could legally drink and just do what you want. And I think 22, it's like, yeah, I'm really out here. And like 23, it's like, wow, I'm really out here. I'm really out here. And it doesn't make it any better for like those of us who are trying to adult or are new to this adulting thing, who wants to have a home and have a successful job and the career and the family, because like everything, it takes time. You know what I mean? In no way am I feeling even more rushed because like I'm turning 23. Like I ain't got no man. When am I gonna get married? What about my kids? What about my future? In no way. I definitely think for these first years in my 20s, and it took me a minute to realize, like, girl, sometimes you just need to do you. I have friends who can just, be outside all the time, 24/7. I mean, outside, they outside with somebody, I don't mind being outside, but I also like the time to myself. And I feel like you really got to know yourself. I feel like I want to say like I knew who I was when I was like 16, but then like I entered the real world and I kind of like didn't know anything, didn't know any better, and like a lot of stuff happened um in during my early adulthood phase that really kind of like left an imprint on me. And whether bad or good, now I'm trying to shape it into something even better. And that's just where I'm at. I'm trying to, get this degree. I'm trying to make this money. Like one day I do want to buy a home. I feel like I foresee my future of me buying a home without a man by my side, because I'm just like that. I'm just all about independency right now. Like don't get me wrong, I would love to have somebody by my side, but the independency that I have inside myself, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. So I'm going to like keep up with it. I'm not going to keep up with it forever. Please God, not forever. But I like it because I've learned so much about myself that I never knew, that I could have never learned if I had somebody's annoying son next to me. And plus like the guys out here aren't really it. So yeah, I'm not a traditional woman, and by no means am I looking for a traditional guy, but my lord, bring something to the table, okay? I'm gonna bring something. What you gonna bring to the cookout? Come on now. But I definitely feel like it's just like an awakening period. I feel like the mind space that I was in at 20, 21, 22, and now going into 23 was different each year. And during each of those like phases of my life, because I value my birthday so much, I like celebrating me more than anybody, probably more than my own mother. And she gave birth to me. I like celebrating me because it's like every day is not guaranteed. So when you get to wake up on the day that you came into this world and breathe that in, you gotta be grateful. You gotta be thankful. You gotta thank God, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta thank God, or whoever you worship, or if you don't worship nobody, thank somebody. Okay? Go to your mama and thank her. go to your daddy and say thank you for participating. But you got to do something because you know, it just there's just a difference to it. And I definitely feel like my birthday this year, I thought I was going to be sad and lonely and by myself. And then I realized like, girl, there are so many things we could go out to do. Like, I want to go do a spa trip by myself and just have like a really therapeutic day and get back to like who I am. I've been doing Pilates, trying to do that. I want to get back to doing yoga like I used to do and just really find my zen, my chi, my the good aura again. Like there's a reason why I have the namaste symbol tattooed on my back, and it's because I believe in that and I believe in it holier than thou. So I really want to get back to like me. I'm not, or should I say, I'm not trying to get back to who I thought Diavion was. I'm trying to redesign her as I grow with age and wisdom and time, and I learn more every day. That's what I'm trying to do. And so when people call me like conceited and all this stuff, I'm like, oh my God, it's just a phase. It's just your birthday. It's so much more than that. And you don't have to see that for me, but I pray that you see it for yourself, that you are somebody special, and that on your birthday, whether big or small, whether you're turning 26 or you're turning 40, you should do something big or small for yourself. If you want to be surrounded by your friends, do that. Get your friends, get your gals, get your guys, get together and do something. If you want to have that serenity and be by yourself, by all means do that. I feel like there's a gap in my birthdays when I didn't really do anything, and that was 19 and 20, and those were the most depressing periods of my life, but I reclaimed it when I turned 21 and I kept it going at 22 and at 23. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I have nobody. I'm just in utter loneliness. I feel like I'm in Antarctica by myself. How cold it is, sometimes I do feel like I'm in Antarctica, but if this is how cold it is in like the northern United States, I can only imagine the North Pole. But anyways, long story short, I don't feel like I'm going 10 steps backward this birthday. You know what I mean? I'm still moving forward because I'm that girl. I really am that girl, you know? That's just who I am. So, in honor of me being that girl and my birthday, I decided to drop this week's episode on Friday, March 1st. It's a great way to end February, Black History Month, and start off March, which is Women's History Month. I did drop a ball this month for February, but so much was going on. February is a short month in general, and I learned that I gotta do my planning. Last year, I pre-planned the crap out of my months. Like by the time January started, I already knew what I wanted to do for February, and before February even started, I already knew what path I was gonna take for March. And I need to get back to that focus. I need to go back to my multitasking genius that I am, because I haven't been doing that. It's either in school, work, school, work, school, work. And I need to throw the podcast back in there. And you would think because it's on my calendar that I would pay attention to it, but I do not care. But I'm going to get back to it because I got to go to work because I need my money. I want to go to school because it's always been 9-year-old Diavion's dream to have a college education. And I love my podcast because my podcast is everything. And I may not have 1,000 or even 100 or 50 listeners, but something about this podcast and just doing it and recording it and hearing my voice go to other people on the minor feedback that I get back, it makes me happy. So I'm going to find a way to continue to make myself happy by not neglecting the podcast and really showing her love, because I love my review for Fuse. The review for Fuse is everything. You know how long it took me to learn how to say the review for Fuse without stuttering? Review for Fuse, review for Fuse, review for Fuse. It's like a tongue twister, if that's what it's called. But yeah, I did drop the ball this month, but I'm gonna bring it back for Women's History Month. Now, for today's show, I guess this isn't really Black history or women's history. How you look, it depends on how you look at it, because the woman is Black and she is a woman. But Wendy Williams, guys, can we talk about this documentary? I've seen the first 2 episodes so far. Lifetime been playing around. I ain't got cable TV, y'all. I don't, it's 2024. I ain't got no cable TV. You know what I mean? So I be getting it where I can, okay? But I saw the first 2 episodes and I just want to say help this woman. People are like, "Oh, this is her karma. She deserves this. She talks so bad on so many people." Here's what I like about social media. Okay, well, let me tell you what I don't like about social media at first. What I don't like is the ignorant comments that you be seeing. And what I do like is about the people who have a brain cell or 5,000 and they actually put down stuff, intelligent stuff. Because some people are like, y'all mad, but she was literally doing her job. She was literally doing her job. Before Wendy Williams was ever on TV, she had a radio. You know, the famous TikTok voice that was strolling around like, your husband's gay, he's a homo, that was strolling around. Or like, denial is a river in Egypt, your husband is gay, he's a homo. That was Wendy's from her radio that she used to do in the 90s, early 2000s. She's always been that girl. And it's so crazy how people talk about Wendy and how they're letting her down and all this stuff. I look at Wendy's a little bit like she's a treasure. Like I don't know if it makes me a toxic person, but I loved when she shaded people. I didn't need to know what this celebrity was doing. I didn't need to know anything that was going on in their life. I did not care. When Wendy Williams came on, and if I could watch it, I was gonna watch it. If Wendy said something, Wendy said something. I also like how like I haven't seen the episode yet, but Black China when she was with Wendy, and it's like I remember not too long ago, Black China was saying Wendy was shaped like a pea, and here she is actually comforting her and doing that good solitude. And let me tell you something. I believe people could change their way, but people could only change their way so much. Some part of that personality that they want to change so bad is always going to be left behind. So Black China, she is a sweetheart. She's an angel in this moment right now to Wendy Williams, but I'm just saying, let's not let that deceive us. Like, people can change. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in any way squatting on Black China or Angela White or Dr. Angela. I'm just calling it like it is because sometimes people, you never know. You never know what people's ulterior. My lips keep spreading. My lips keep spreading. I can't say the word. Ulterior motives. My lips keep spreading. I can't say the word. Like, my lips are literally spreading. Ulterior. What is the words like? It's like ULTERIOR motive. You never know what it is. And I feel really bad. And can I just say, before we dive even further into the subject, Wendy's son, you know, he kind of fine. Like, he's a good looking, put together man. I pray to God he's still in Florida by the time I decide to head back down south. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, he's not bad looking. He got a lot of hair. So, whoever he has kids with, they won't be bald. But I mean, you probably might have to deal with some like family genetics. Like, his mama a little messed up. But anyways, off that topic. I feel so bad because they said she was really happy being in Florida with her family where most of her family is. And she's just stuck in New York by herself. Nobody knows where she is. Even as this documentary is airing, they still don't know where she is. They can't visit her, nothing like that. And you could clearly see in the show that they don't care about her well-being and health. Like, she ordered like a martini or whatever, and she had like no food, and she just kept drinking it. And the girl with the bad leave out was just like letting her do whatever she wanted. She didn't care. And you could tell like some of her comments when she was like dumbass or you're stupid or what, you're fat, or just the though, like, that's not Wendy. And for people who could say, you could just sit there and lie to yourself and say, yeah, that's who she is. That is not who that lady is. And you know better. So it's like, why lie about it? It just bothers me because it's like, I pray she gets the help that she needs, that you could so clearly see. And people keep talking about her eyes. I get it. We can make jokes here and there, but her eyes are a serious condition, guys. That's not nice. That's not funny. And her feet, oh my God. I have heard about the feet, but seeing the feet, I was just like, how does she stand? Like, I see swollen, but that is swollen. The S is gone. The S is swollen. The S forming into the W. It's swollen. It's not even swollen. It's swollen. I was just like, that's terrible. And like, I don't know. It just like watching the documentary. It's not that I felt bad for her. I just felt sad because it's like you could tell this woman she just needs the the right care and she could be happy. And like her son and nephew and niece were saying like when she was in Florida, she wasn't drinking, she was out, she was getting exercise, she was happy, she was better. When they forced her to go back to New York, some way somehow, she just started going bloop 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 bloop. And I truly believe that, family can cure a lot of stuff. You could be arguing with your family one day and the next day, I promise you, okay, listen to me, guys. I promise you, they will be there for you. If y'all are really family and they really love you, they will be there for you. Family could do a lot of nasty things, that you just be like, I can't ever go back to that. And family could do a lot of good things where it's just like, you know what? I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm blessed that I have you in my life. And I feel like when it comes to family, you be lost a little bit because you never know what's true and what's wrong. And I feel like we don't know the whole story about Wendy. We'll probably never know the whole story about Wendy because she can't even tell us. They're trying to the guardian she has is suing the documentary, but guess what? The documentary's still airing. They're still gonna air it, and I feel really bad because I think she should totally get to tell her story. It's nice to hear from her family and her quote unquote management team, but how does she feel in all of this? Like, how does she feel when she's actually lucid and understands what's going on and can actually dig into the memory bank and recall stuff? How does she feel about all this stuff? Yeah, her family's saying they really wish she was with her and all this stuff, but how do we know her family wasn't abusing her finances? How do we know that? I'm not shading anybody, but I'm just saying how do we know? You know, the finances being abused by the family, of course, that's the first finger that's going to be pointed because it's like your family. Of course, like all you want is money. Like you have somebody in your family who got big and famous. Y'all was from the nitty-gritty. You got somebody who came big and famous. Of course, that's what you want. I was just like, "What?" And it's just a lot. And there was like one clip where she's like, I have all this money and I just want it for my son, and how she, no matter what, always says her son is everything. It's her only kid. It's the only child she ever birthed. She stopped doing cocaine for that baby. You know what I mean? She stopped, but then she started again. Maybe she didn't, but she and it was just so much stuff. And then like I I'm jumping over the place, but I love the fact about this documentary. They went back to when she was like Halloween or whatever, and she was dressed as like the Statue of Liberty, and she fainted on TV. And so many people said it before I could say it, or like I realized it too. Like when she's about to fumble, like yeah, fumble, tumble, whatever. When she about to do her death drop, she messes up her wording, and it's like that is not overheating, and that's being brought up to question again. And it's like, did she have a mini stroke? And it's so crazy because she came back on the air. She came back on the air after that, like everything was fine. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm okay. Let's get into these hot topics. And it's just so weird. Maybe she was just severely lightheaded. Who knows? That's the thing. Nobody's ever gonna know. What I hate about some documentaries is that you'll never really know the truth. You'll never really know the answers to the questions that really matter because you can't, because that person is either not here or incapacitated, or just some BS, probably. And I truly, truly feel bad. I plan on finishing watching this documentary because, yeah, I don't know. She was a lot to people, and it's so crazy because before I ever knew this documentary was coming out, people were like, celebrities are losing their mind. They doing what they do, and that's because Wendy's not there to talk bad shit and say, "Let me tell you what I would do," and just put in her 2 cents as any old person would, but I won't would just talking out the and I truly feel like if she was to come back and do a podcast and do another TV show or do something to capture the audience again, I definitely think that people would welcome her back with open arms because she is Wendy Williams. When I think of a talk show host, I'm not thinking of Oprah Winfrey. I'm not thinking of Oprah Winfrey. I'm not even thinking of Ellen. And people don't even like Ellen no more. And they gave her like 20 some seasons or whatever they want to call it. She's supposed to be bestest with the Kardashians. You know what I mean? I think of Wendy. Because Wendy's really good. And then I didn't know. I don't know if you guys, I didn't know until they said in a documentary that the Sherry Shepherd show is what replaced the Wendy Williams show. And I was just like, damn. Yo, slot. Yo, stage. Hell, probably even your production team, production crew, gone. And then none of the people from the Wendy Williams show wanted to speak on anything. Crazy. Crazy. Y'all sign an NDA? Y'all can't talk? Y'all don't want to talk? Like Oprah said, were you silenced or silenced? Okay? There's two differences right there, okay? Let's just say that. But I don't know. The documentary, it shows a lot into her life, and bro, I'm jumping all over the place. But when she went to like her home and the lady was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And I don't know if it was before or after she took the picture. I think it was before. And she was like, "Yeah, you were born right here." And she was like, "No, I was born that way." She was like, "Nah, you were born this way because like the street crew, like this is why this street is the Wendy Street because you were born on this street, like you grew up on the street." And she's like, "Oh, I did," and I'm just like, no. She's losing her marbles. The incident with the vape in episode 2, I was just like, yowzers. And then like, I feel like nobody was doing anything. The driver, I get it, whatever. But like Sean, I think that's her name. The girl with the bad leave out, the publicist, whatever her job title is. She just want to keep getting paid for nothing. Cause what are you publicizing? Not a damn thing. They should have stopped it before the production crew stopped it. The production crew recognizes when she has these episodes before the people who are supposedly around her every day and have been around her for years. That's a problem. If you don't see that as a problem, we now have a problem because that don't make no sense. No dollars. Where my change? There ain't none. It just, I feel bad for Wendy, and I pray she gets the help she needs. And she looks so skinny. I just feel like those boobs are probably like weighing her down. I don't got big boobs, thank God, but I could just sense the back pain looking at her, and then how she has trouble walking, how she's like, I belong in a wheelchair. The first 5 seconds of the documentary just told me where we were going with this whole thing, and I feel really bad for Wendy and her family, and I really hope she gets the help she needs. And I don't think she should be in a guardianship conservatorship, kind of like Britney Spears. And she got a lot of backlash for how she spoke on Britney Spears, and they talk about that in the documentary as well, because she was like, death all of them, and all that stuff. And it's like, I want to know who is this guardian. Where did we find this guardian? Is this guardian a distant relative? Where do they come from? Like, what's the true story? What's tea? Why can't her family see her? Y'all want to have her under guardianship? Fine. Why can't she do it in Miami? Miami got sunny beaches. What the hell does New York got? Subways and rats? it's just, I think she would be better off in Miami. She'll be better off in Florida with her family, with her loved ones, and then even her dad being there. Imagine you old as hell already, and now you get to see your child slowly forget their memories and lose themselves. This child you raised go down this path that you would not want them to go on. Like, that's so sad. So sad. And you know what? Thankfully, her mother didn't have to see that. And they said, her losing her mother, her husband, having a baby on her, all that probably broke her. And I think we women sometimes tend to like put the shield up a little too high and build it a little too strong when we're hurting. And when we're hurting, we're hurting. But we like trap ourselves in our own minds, and like nobody, and I mean nobody, can get to us. And I feel like in a way that's what's happening to Wendy. She experienced a lot of heartbreak and trauma, and in a way I feel like she put herself up. Anyway, when she does a little crying, she's not really crying. I know deep down that she is probably so hurt inside. She lost her husband. But she literally said he cheated on her when their son was like 2 months old. And she stayed. And what did he do? He cheated again. Cheated some more. Had a baby. He was probably spending her money on that side chick. Come on now. Come on now. I just feel bad. I feel like the whole circumstances, the whole story, the whole plot outline, whatever you want to call it, from the beginning to the end, it's just so sad. It's just so sad. And I think the words that she said that ring true, whether she said it lucid or not, is that if it could happen to me, it could happen to you. People think that if you're not a celebrity, you can't be put into these certain situations, and that if you are a celebrity, like, you're oblivious to what is going on. He's like, I don't know what's going on, that can't happen to me because I'm a celebrity. And it's like, it can happen to anybody, honey. Just like death can happen to anybody, anything and everything in this world can happen to anybody. Okay? Them's his words to remember. All right? But before we wrap up the show, March. March. Whoop, whoop. March. Whoop, whoop. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to my fabulous auntie whose birthday is this Sunday. Happy birthday to all my March babies. I will definitely give out more March birthday shout outs. I have so many March friends. I have family members who are March babies. Like, March, 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 March. March. Of course, March Pisces get a little bit more love than March Aries, but that's just because I'm a March Pisces, and Pisces are the best thing ever. And Rihanna's a Pisces. She might be a February Pisces, but she's still a Pisces. And she's born on the first day of Pisces season, so she's literally the queen of the Pisces. And I am her reigning champion. Like, I'm just right below her, And one more thing before I officially start wrapping it up with my little spiel. Nobody cares about Justin frickin' Bieber. And I promise you, if you have a friend, family, or somebody whose birthday is on March 1st and you bring up Justin Bieber's name, you are the devil. You are a demon. You are an evil spirit that needs to be done with, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Now, when you share a birthday with a celebrity you like, that's different. When you share a birthday with a celebrity you could care less about, shut the front door. Nobody cares. One more time, what was it? Nobody cares. Okay? That's all I gotta say. Anyways, as always, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to the Review for Few podcast. I promise I'm coming in full throttle for March. Not only because it's like one of my favorite months out of the year, but because I need to get back on my Zoom. I need to get back up my grind, y'all. I need to get back up there. So hopefully a lot more interesting movies and TVs and documentaries will be released, like that Nickelodeon one, which I can't wait for, on Dan Schneider. the man who created like damn near all them shows, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious, you name it, he did it. And I want to know, what did he do to those stars behind the scenes? Talk about some, yeah, they were getting drunk, they were getting high, they were doing X, Y, and Z. I need to know A, B, C, D, E, F, G first. Okay. Let me tell you something, guys. Happy listening and happy birthday to